Hi, it's David from Life with Parkinson's. If you're new here, welcome. We hope you'll consider subscribing. Everyone else, thank you for all your love and support and for coming back to support this channel. This video is the fourth video in the new series of Dave, what has changed in your Parkinson's treatment plan? So at the end of this video, I'll put up a link to the previous one, so when you're done here, you can hop over there and watch them in reverse order, which is perfectly fine. This video is all about this little guy, the VILIM ball, and what I've noticed the last 3 months. I started it at the beginning of October, and I've been using it 3 times a day, 10 minutes per hand. The first month I had fairly good results, and the last 2 months have added to that. But first, I just want to check my handwriting here, do the little spiral, write my name and some numbers just to see if anything's changed with my dexterity or if I'm developing any tremors. And if you would like your own VILIM ball, there's a link down in the description below that will take you to the VILIM website shop where you can order one, and you can use the code LWP50 for a €50 discount off the purchase of your own. And at the same time, you'll be supporting Life with Parkinson's, and we really appreciate that. Okay, before we get to the results, there are a couple things I want to talk about. Someone asked, Dave, how does the VILIM ball work? The best way to answer that question would be to head over to the website, and we'll do that briefly here, and I'll show you a couple spots where you can check out some videos and some articles on what it does and how it does it. Inside this little guy, there is some AI technology that changes how it responds to the reactions it's getting for you. I think that's the best way I can explain it. And the ball sends a vibration up your arm into your brain, and I gotta tell you, I feel it over my entire body. It's everywhere. It's head and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, knees and toes. It's head and shoulders, knees and toes. It's everywhere, all over my body. And it's unbelievable. It makes me feel really, really good. Like, the feeling it generates really lowers my anxiety. Exactly how the VILIM ball does what it does, getting the information from them is probably the best. Okay, I just want to talk about my schedule here. I use it in the morning when I wake up. Right now my opening pill time. The first inning of pill time today for Dave is at 6 a.m. And that combination of my pills earlier and the VILIM ball seems to bring me on a little earlier in the day. And then I use it at 1 p.m. again, because that's the time of the day that's usually been a bad off. And then I use it again at bedtime. Let's get to the results. That's what everyone's been waiting for. Dave, what's happening? Stop talking about other stuff. Okay, I don't want to get carried away and say that the VILIM ball is going to solve everyone's anxiety. I have no way of knowing that. And to say that would be misleading. But for me, it has helped my anxiety quite a bit. Now I'm going to divide my anxiety into situational anxiety. This is when a situation comes up that's stressful, versus what I'm going to call resting anxiety, just for lack of a better term. So my resting anxiety is greatly improved. And when I'm talking about resting anxiety, that might be when you're sitting on the couch watching a show or reading a book. Now my situational anxiety, let's just say I'm at the store, someone bumps into me, they say something nasty like get out of the way. I don't know if that kind of anxiety has decreased a lot, but I would say my resting anxiety is way down. The next thing I want to talk about is dyskinesia. I've found the VILIM ball has helped me with my dyskinesia levels. And that seems like a bit of an oxymoron now, because I do have some dyskinesia going on, which is a little unusual. Okay, now the dyskinesia retreats. My goodness. What a strange disease. I feel that the VILIM ball has helped lower the dyskinesia a little bit, but the effect right now is not super long lasting. So it's time is it? It's almost 8 o'clock. I used the ball about 2 hours ago. You know, my dyskinesia usually goes away, but it's hung around today, and I think that one of the reasons why is because I'm really excited about this video. But honestly, when dyskinesia comes on, it just kind of comes on. So the effect of dyskinesia the ball is having is recent. It's not substantial, but I feel that it has helped despite having the dyskinesia now. So the biggest issue I've had improve with the VILIM ball is freezing of gait. Now, it's not something that showed up in the first month. It's not something that really showed up in the second month. But in December, I began to notice that, hey, I'm not calling Haley to bring me a chair as often. And I talked about it. She's like, yeah, it's been a few days. Like back when I started on the ball in October, I would say I would call Haley at least once or twice a day. And if I was having a bad day, it would be like 2 to 3 times a day for her to bring me a chair or help me get through a bad freeze. And this is something that really surprised me. But on the other hand, I guess it's not really surprising because we know from other sources and other devices that vibrations do help Parkinson's. It just seems like the oddest thing. How can vibration eliminate and reduce freezing of gait? But it has. And how much the VILIM ball would help your freezing of gait, I don't know. But I am very grateful and thankful that it is helping, because bad offs I found are the worst thing and the most dangerous thing. What hasn't changed for me is the difference between an on and an off. The disparity between the two has continued to expand despite my recent improvements. And that's one thing I want to make clear with this new series is that I am still having off times. It's just that the amount of them is decreasing. And I think that can be a scary thing because it's making me less vigilant. It's making me it's encouraging me more to take risks and do things that I necessarily wouldn't have done when my off time was longer. I would be more cautious, right? I would be like, okay, I can't do this, whatever activity it is, because I'm going to have a long off. But I'm finding now that there's times when usually I would have my off time where I continue through it completely on. So I guess in a way I could say it's making me a little bit more cocky. It's making me a little bit more brave in what I do. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Just recently, a few days ago, I could have an opportunity where I could film this. Where I got home after shopping and I needed help getting out of the car because I was completely off. At this point, my new treatment plan hasn't brought me anywhere close yet where I can say, okay, I can lower some medication. It's just brought me to the point where it's just starting to slowly roll back some symptoms. And that's really my goal, is to see how many symptoms I can roll back and perhaps lower my medication a little bit. The next big area that the ball has helped is dystonia, especially the morning dystonia. You know how you get that toe curl where your toes want to like bend under your foot, so almost to the point where you feel like your foot's going to snap in half? This little guy somehow can eat through my dystonia, swallow it up, and just toss it aside. When I take my pills in the morning and my 20 minutes on this is up, all my dystonia is nearly gone. If that was the only effect that this ball had, I would continue to use it just for that. Last video we talked about the VILIM ball being able to increase my on time, and it has. I've gotten back about an hour per day. At this point in the 3-month update, I've had no further increase from that. The link to the previous video in this series should be up now. So if you haven't checked it out, when you're done here, I'll see you over there. And also, if you're thinking about your own VILIM ball, there's a link in the description below that will take you to the VILIM shop, or you can use the code LWP50 to get 50 euros off the purchase of your own ball. Thank you for continuing to take this journey together. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with your family and friends. Leave a question or a comment below. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Goodbye.